Welcome to I Am Geek. This is episode 39. Welcome back, everybody. And guess what? He's back again. Ray Chase is here. Ray Chase is here for his third time, which I think makes him an honorary member of I Am Geek. I think he's just one of us now.
It's official, folks.
It's official.
Yeah.
He's a three-timer.
I keep turning up like a bad penny.
Well, you know, you've been like on all social media. They've been like, when are you going to have Ray back? Can you please have Ray back?
That was mostly me just like texting you that. Can I come back? Like,
Come on, guys.
Come on, it's been a week. Bring me back.
But we're so happy to have you back. Last week we had a special wrestling episode, and Chris, you weren't here for that, so you missed out. I know how much you love wrestling.
Oh, darn. Yeah. It was a great episode. I totally listened to it.
You didn't listen to it.
So much good stuff on wrestling that I didn't know about that I learned from listening to that.
Wow.
Man,
Insightful.
my brother is a liar. There are people from our hometown, or our hometown, but where we went to college, that have been talking about it. They saw our dad, and they're like, "Hey, I forgot how much Ryan loved wrestling. That was really cool to hear and stuff." So that was funny.
Well, growing up, my friends, they called you a wrestling buddy. That was your nickname.
Oh, I never knew this.
Yeah, because you like to practice your wrestling moves on me, and those toys that came out, the wrestling buddies, they're like, "Oh, he's like a wrestling buddy."
Well,
you're a wrestling buddy.
Can you send me names later so I can find them?
Okay.
And wrestle with them.
Wrestle with them.
Hey, I'm your buddy. Time to wrestle.
Oh man, it's been a crazy day here. Well, it's been a crazy week here because my wife was out of town, so I had both kids. So I'm like running on zero sleep because they teamed up on me and they decided one of them would go to sleep and then the other one would immediately wake up, and then I'd put that one down and the other one would wake up, and it was just like, I'm pretty sure they were trying to kill me. I'm pretty sure that's what was happening.
Yeah.
But I survived. I showed them.
Did you tell them there's no inheritance? Like,
I know.
there's no reason for you to kill me.
Yeah,
I'm feeding you.
Yeah.
Curses, plans foiled.
Yeah. You guys don't pay me enough, so there's nothing to give you when you kill me. So I don't know. So I had that all weekend, and then we're gonna talk to Ray about some stuff. But I wanted just to get this out there before I forget. I'm like Twitter famous now. Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. But
He's Twitter pated.
Twitter pated.
Twitter pated.
My phone's been blowing up all day because the director of The Last Jedi replied to one of my tweets, which was ridiculous.
No freaking way.
I told the guys before the show, so they're like, I'm pretending I don't know. But
did you tell him he was spelling his name wrong?
Yeah. People are starting to like ship us on Twitter. It's like Ryan with an I / Ryan with a Y. All the feels 2018.
They're like buddy cop comedy now.
I know. So I'm like hoping he's gonna put me in the next movie that he makes, but I don't know. You mean read it? I can read the tweet real fast.
You're excited. Go ahead.
I'm excited. Okay, here we go. So this is what I said because this is what I said because I was basically cussed out. We talked about this very briefly last week, Katrin. I was cussed out on Twitter by some random movie producer that made like the new Blair Witch movie or something. I don't know him. Never heard of him before. But I had responded to something, and he basically cussed me out for saying that that I didn't like the movie, or I had problems with the movie, so he cussed me out about it. So I just responded. So here's what I've learned from The Last Jedi. You are not allowed to even sort of dislike one of Rian Johnson's films on social media. If you do, you get cussed at and told you're wrong by complete strangers. I guess I can't have an opinion anymore. And then just sort of laugh, ha, ha, ha. And then Rian Johnson responded back to me today, which is pretty ridiculous. Because I'm nobody. Anyways, he said,
Not anymore, Ryan.
I know.
No.
He said, I'm sorry, Ryan. Yeah, he said, I'm sorry, Ryan. That truly sucks.
Oh.
If it's any consolation, in parentheses, I know it isn't. I get plenty of the same thing on my end, but good, healthy, respectful debate does exist even on the internet. Just hard times. Just hard sometimes to filter out the noise. Fist bump. So there we go.
Fist bump.
What a fist bump.
Yeah.
I
You're
take
like
back
soul
everything I
brothers
said about The Last Jedi.
now. You loved it. Best movie ever.
Well, I wouldn't go that far,
Ryan.
but
Brian Johnson's a genius.
He's connecting with you because you're another Ryan.
I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ryan's got to stick together.
Yeah, we do.
That's right.
But I thought that was really cool that a director of his caliber would like even respond to somebody.
No, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
So, and then of course after that, people started replying to his nice gesture, saying your movie sucks, and I'm just like, come on, people,
Back to the point here.
you're missing everything that's going on.
The healing can't begin until we let it.
I know. I thought that was funny. Anyways, so on to the stuff that we're here for. I mean, that was geeky, so that's right.
Yeah, and we got more listens from that too, I think.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
we're like 69 listens on that episode, the spoilers episode.
We've been at 69 for a few days.
Oh, come on, give me a little.
Sorry.
You should now that you and Ryan are such good friends, you should like see if he wants to come on and like
I should be like,
tell us
hey,
your
so
side of
he
the
needs-
story.
He needs to smooth things over with the public, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is
be a great way to
do
do
that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm so sure that Disney and Lucasfilm will just let him be on some little podcast to talk about Star
Oh yeah.
Wars.
Oh yeah.
Little.
I mean, you got to start from the ground where the people are.
Yeah.
Amazing upcoming podcast. It's a
Yeah.
grassroots effort.
Yeah.
That's where the true
Taking
fans
over the
lie.
world.
You want us to buy your Blu-rays? Convince us.
I'm
We-
not getting a porg unless you come on here.
Oh, I already got a porg. So. Ryan Johnson, I know you're listening. This one's for you. Anyways, we have had a lot more listens lately, so thank you
Yes,
all
we have.
to everyone that's
Yes,
listening.
thank you.
It's been great. It's cool to open up your to check the numbers, and it's like today you had 48 plays. I'm like, hey, that's good for us.
Yeah.
And like having 150 or something during the week, so that's good. Thank you guys for everyone that's listening, and continue to share, like, and all that stuff. Anyways, Ray Chase is here. He's not here to talk about that. He's here to talk about his amazing weekend that he had at Disney World down in Orlando, Florida. He did something that the three of us will probably never, ever even consider doing, especially since I just need a double cheeseburger, a side of fries, and a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, and I had Taco Bell, so.
Yeah, so he did something that I mean, we're not big guys, but
Yeah. Right here, but
I'm starving.
we're in some type of shape. I mean,
yeah, we're in A shape, but I may or may not have to use an inhaler every now and then.
Let's just say we like to slow down and enjoy Disney World, not run around it really fast. I mean, come
If
on.
I'm running, something's chasing me, and you probably need to run too.
So, Ray, what we were sort of alluding to is that you ran the Disney Marathon. Was this just a regular marathon weekend? Is that correct?
Well, it was, yes, I guess in a way. I mean, it was the 25th anniversary of the Disney World Marathon.
Okay.
It started back in 94, so this was the 25th running of the Disney World Marathon. But it's usually about this time every year. It's like we were kind of chatting about before the show. It's almost become like a week-long sort of thing, because now that they've instituted other races, and there's like a thing that they call the Dopey Challenge, where you run a 5K one day, a 10K the next day, a half marathon the day after that, and then a full marathon. It's like 4 days of running, which sounds exciting, but it costs like $800, and How much do you really like running?
Wow.
So, but yeah, so it's like 4 days of running. So the marathon weekend sort of begins on Wednesday and runs through Sunday.
So people pay $800 to run. At,
A lot.
The dopey.
Does that include
That's crazy.
like passes for the day for Disney at all, or that's just
No.
to run?
But you can always just peel off and not finish and just go on rides and.
Oh, okay.
I suppose.
That's what I would do. I did a 5K when I lived in Florida. It was the Yeti challenge that they did at Animal Kingdom.
Right. Yeah.
Where you ran through. It was like at nighttime, which I liked because it was cooler.
No one could see me.
No one could see me. No one could see me dying on the side of the road. But it was like a challenge, so you had like ropes course things where you have to climb and stuff, which was cool. But I remember going. You have to go, and you can tell all about it. But I think you go to the ESPN Center place and then pick up all your stuff.
Yeah, well, each race is a little bit different. The one you're talking about, the Everest Challenge, I'm not sure how that one was set up. I know for like the larger races, like the half and the full, and this whole marathon weekend, all of your stuff, you have to go to the Wild World of Sports Center, their sports complex, to pick up all your gear and whatnot. And then later on, when you're running the full marathon, you actually run through the ESPN Center, which is kind of fun. Yeah. After running on concrete, it's kind of nice to run on a nice soft track for a quarter of a mile.
So you did finish, though, so that's good.
I did, yeah. I got my best time yet so far, so that was kind
Nice.
of fun. Yeah.
Congrats.
So you got first or second place, pretty much?
Fourth place, yes.
Oh.
No. Not even close. Not even close. No. I think when I started, the people that won the marathon were probably halfway done. It was like, go, and they're like already 13 miles in. Like, yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there too.
So is there a point during the race when you is this your first marathon, or how many have you done?
Total, I've done like 17 full marathons, but this is like my 7th Disney full marathon.
Gotcha. Is there a point when in the race where you like hit that wall and you're like, okay, I either just die here or I power through?
Yeah. I mean, there's always that moment where you're kind of wondering. I'll tell you, every marathon I think I've ever run, there's come a point when I'm running when I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm never doing this again. This is too much. This is too painful. This is just like, and then I get done, and then I'm like, yeah, I think I could sign up for another one. and then I do another one, and then at another point in that race, there'll be a moment where I'm just like in pain or agony, and I'm like, never again, never. Well, I maybe could do another one. We'll see. A couple months.
That's how we are with the Disney cruises, because we eat all the food. We're like, oh, never again, never again, and then we sign up for another cruise.
Which is the opposite of running a marathon.
No,
it's a marathon of eating. It's a marathon of eating. Come on.
Marathon, so, yeah.
Chris and I are pretty much doing just the same thing. It's just
I'm mile 13 of this mile hot dog that I've eaten. I've eaten 13 miles worth of hot dogs.
13 of those pizza I got. Oh.
Power through.
Whenever I think of marathons, though, I always think of this video I saw a long time ago. This lady that was finishing a marathon, and she's at the end, and all of a sudden her knee bends the wrong way because she was like worn out. And I can't help but think about that. I was like, nope, I don't want to do that.
Well, the thing you got to remember, though, for some of those people that have those kinds of experiences, those are probably the people that are out in front, and they're running like 5-minute miles, and they're just elite athletes. That ain't me, and that's not like most of the people out there. So, yeah, I mean, you try to do your best, you try to push as hard as you can, but there is that part of you that knows if you push any harder, you're probably going to end up on the side of the road in a pool of vomit and humiliation. So,
happiest place on earth. Oh.
I think I've told the story before, but I had a friend who ended up on the side of the road. Who we went with them and stayed in, because we were DVC members and they came and stayed with us, And then he said, if I get, because he never ran one before, his wife runs like crazy. And he's like, if I get to the point where I can't do it anymore, can I call you and you can come get me? And I'm like, sure, why not? I've probably told this many times. It's so sorry, but so long story short, he calls me. It says I'm on the side of the road somewhere. Come get me. And I'm like, where are you? He's like, I have no idea. Just come find me. And I said, power through. And I hung up the phone.
You can do it, buddy.
You can do it. And I went back to bed. And he finished, so that was good. See, I helped him out.
There you go.
Now, when I did it, I don't know if they still do it, but there's a gang of golf carts that sort of travel behind the races to pick up people.
Picking up the strays.
Yeah, and it pretty much says if you can't run this a mile in this amount of time, then you have to get on the golf cart.
Right. Yeah.
So that was always funny to watch people. this is slow golf cart pulling up beside somebody and being like, "Get in, your race is over." And it was like, if I just paid like all that money, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm finishing the race." But they're like, they make you get in. Did you just stop on your travels through? You went through the parks, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you pick up a Dole Whip on the way, a churro. No,
but you know what? The thing that's hilarious with that is that so the race starts in the parking lot on one of the roads near Epcot. So you kind of start out in front of Epcot. You run up to Magic Kingdom. You run from Magic Kingdom to Animal Kingdom. You run from Animal Kingdom to the sports complex, through the sports complex to the studios, and then from the studios back to Epcot, and then you finish in the parking lot of Epcot. When you get to Epcot, you enter through the back, and you at mile 25, you are at sort of the United Kingdom of World Showcase. So you only have 1.2 miles left to go, and I swear to you, 2 years ago when I did this, I'm at mile 25, and I see a guy stopping off to get fish and chips. And I'm like, dude, we're a mile, 1.2 miles. You're getting fish and chips now? Oh my God. Yes, they smell delicious, but, we're almost there,
I can't imagine running 25 miles and be like, you know what I want right now? Some fish and chips. That would be really good right now.
When I get done, the last thing I want is any solid food. I just want to sit. I want to drink as much Gatorade and water as possible. I don't want, fish and chips. I don't want a pretzel. I don't want a Dole Whip or Mickey bar or any of that stuff. And I want to lay down.
Yeah.
Can I lay here? Is that okay? Okay, great. I'm just going to lay here.
So they don't do any parties or anything afterwards, because when I did the 5K, at the end they're like, it's party time, and they opened up Animal Kingdom for everybody to just ride rides, and they had dance parties, which I don't know why you'd want to do a dance party after your race, but and then free food and all kinds of stuff. Did they do that for the marathon?
They really don't. If you do, there's a race, the Wine and Dine race that kind of happens in the fall. That one, although I think they do that one in the morning now, I don't know. That was the very first half marathon I did, and that one was at night. And when you got done and you finished at Epcot, all the Wine and Dine pavilions were open, and they give you drink tickets, and you can walk around and eat and drink, and that was all fun. For the Walt Disney World Marathon, there really isn't anything like that. A few years ago, they did a thing where the Monday after the marathon, if you finished the full marathon and you showed up in any of the parks with your medal, they let you into the park for free. And that was pretty awesome. But they did that once, and never again. Never again. So now the big thing is at Disney Springs they do they have discounts with some of the vendors. Like the Sprinkles Cupcake place was doing buy one get one free if you showed your medal and so forth. So there's discounts and things like that you can get at Disney Springs, but there's no party in the park or anything like that, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Because you just ran 26.2 miles,
And you paid for it, so you think.
And you paid for it. Yeah.
Did you get free swag? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, free swag.
There was swag that was included. I got usually there's running shirts that are included, so I got my usual running shirt. There was right now I'm wearing one for the Cowtown. I should have worn my Disney one tonight, but
people were listening, going, "Oh, I wonder if he's wearing his Disney Marathon shirt." Well, he's not.
Could have pretended
stop it all. Restart it.
Let's start over again. Let me go change, guys. Be right back.
Anyway, so you got a shirt.
Get a shirt. They included. Actually, I can sort of. Well, I can't grab them. They're kind of far away. There's Actually, I will grab them. They gave us these Mickey Mouse shirts.
We just got through talking about running 25 miles, and he's like, "Oh, that stuff's too far away."
I mean, you can't blame him. I ran all the way to Florida from Texas. Ran all the way back to Texas.
Oh, he's got some ears.
Ears.
Special ears.
Yes, I did not prepare them. Sorry, I should have been ready.
No.
Yeah, so they gave these to us at the finish, which was kind of cool. And this is the big hunkin' metal they gave us.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Spins. Got a little spinny thing in the middle, which is kind of fun.
The shape of Mickey's head, and the middle part spins.
It's made out of chocolate, I think.
Take a bite out.
The one that I want, because my sister-in-law runs these races too, and she did a Marvel one.
Yes.
And the medal was the Eye of Agamotto.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That's cool.
I want that.
There's your motivation.
I don't want to run it though. I just want that.
Well, the Star Wars race is pretty cool too because, and I might get this wrong. My brother's done this. I haven't done it, but the West Coast I think does the light side run. So in Disneyland they do a half marathon and it's the light side race, and in Florida they do the dark side race. If you do both races, then you get the Kessel Run medal, which is the Millennium Falcon medal, and it's very cool looking, and I want one very badly.
And since Disneyland canceled their races, they're doing some kind of weird
it's a virtual
race where you can still get the medal, I guess.
Yeah, so see, you guys could do that one. You could sign up for the virtual race and just not do it. And
which I don't understand.
$100 for that one?
Yeah, how does this work? How does the virtual racer work?
I don't know exactly. I think it's like $69. It's not that expensive, but it's not that cheap. You're basically paying for the medal, kind of. And I don't know if you have to, like, I don't know, take a picture of your Garmin or something and, like, send it to them and say, yeah, see, I did it. Of course, you could just have, like, a friend do it for you and be like, yeah, see, I did it.
Or just, a lot of races,
or just Photoshop.
Yeah,
a lot of races have spirit runners, though, right? So it's like you're just because like the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure race,
right.
Your spirit runner, you still get the stuff. You're giving money to that organization, and you're being part of that whole thing. I mean, I guess the Disney things don't really going towards anything but Disney, probably. I don't know.
It's going to Star Wars land. It's all going to Star Wars land.
That's their whole thing. It's like, we just want your money. I don't care if you run or not. I'm sure they want your money. I don't, it's something, I don't know.
Yeah, they canceled the races. I think all the races in California have been canceled for this year because of all the construction that's going on out there. So I think at least with like the Star Wars run, and there'll probably be one for the Avengers race as well, as a way for people to still kind of get the coast to coast medals, the extra medals if you run on both coasts without actually going out there, since they're not doing them. So
in other words, it's a way for Disney to make more money. That's what it
it is. But I will tell you, I mean, the races are expensive in Florida, but they do put on a fantastic run. I mean, the Disney World Marathon, it was my first one that I've ever done, and it's still like my favorite one. And even if I wasn't a huge Disney Parks fan and whatnot, I think it would still be my favorite one because there's so much on-course entertainment and so much stuff to look at and whatnot. It really helps to kind of keep your mind off the fact that you're running for 4.5 hours. That you're dying slowly on the inside and on the outside. But yeah, lots of water, lots of food, lots of support. I mean, it's a really good run.
I've seen pictures. A lot of people dress up, almost cosplay.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of that this time?
There's a little bit. When I did the Goofy Challenge a few years ago, and the Goofy Challenge is when you run the half on Saturday and then the full on Sunday. On Saturday, I dressed up like Iron Man.
Nice.
Because I was like, well, I'm not going to be going too fast, so I had like little light pucks for my hand. I had a Under Armour Iron Man shirt, and I did a little goatee I painted on and whatnot, which was kind of fun because it was crazy. Because I would pass like people, like I would pass like Thor and like Black Widow and stuff, and I'd be like Avengers, and they'd be like, oh, good Lord, man.
Is there a bunch of Captain Americas like running past you, going on your left?
I did see a couple of Captain Americas actually, but no one's so bold.
I was trying to see anything about the virtual thing, but of course, there's nothing that I could find about it.
Virtually nothing about it.
Somebody just. Oh, I shouldn't have opened this because now there's some random mean tweet from.
Oh, brought down your high, huh?
Yeah, telling me to seek therapy for my tweet. I'm like, what? Come on, people.
Well, I mean, you should seek therapy, but I mean, not that.
That's true.
So, Ray, what's your favorite part about it?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I mean, the Disney run, this one in particular, is kind of the one that kind of got me interested in the running from the get-go. So the very first time I did it, it was like super amazing and sort of emotional because I never thought I would actually be able to do it. Because like I said earlier, this was like the 25th anniversary. I think I was actually, my wife and I think we were down in Florida either for the first year or maybe the second year that it was being run at that exact time. And that's when I was like, hey, I could do that. I could run around the Disney parks. Florida's pretty flat. There's not a lot of hills or nothing, you know. And then, and I did that for about 15 years. And I was like, I still got to start training for that Disney Marathon. As I ate another cupcake, and it kind of started to turn into a regret for me. And I really wish I had done that. And so, I went through a phase, where I started losing weight and whatnot. And I had mentioned that, God, I really wish I had done the Disney Marathon. And my wife was like, well, if you want to start running, just start doing it. And so that's what kind of got me back into doing it. And that was the goal. I was like, the goal, I really want to do it. I really want to do that full marathon because I was also coming up on age 40. Katrin,
Me too.
Training.
We're both turning
right.
40 this
You
year.
too, Ryan.
I'm the
Chris,
youngest
have
here.
time.
I'm the youngest here.
You're not far behind.
I'm not far behind. I'm 36.
Oh, there you go. So you got plenty of time to train. There you go.
I got plenty of time to train and run at 40.
That's right. So, yeah, I wanted to try to get it. I wanted to try to do it before I turned 40. So that was sort of my goal. And so being able to do it and not. The very first time. Coming towards the end, I still very much remember like getting very close to the finish line, and they have this amazing like gospel choir at mile 26 that you kind of run around one part of Spaceship Earth where like the little gift shop is, and you kind of run through backstage, and there's like this amazing gospel choir there, and they're singing, and you hit mile 26, and it's like you still got 0.2 to go, which is almost a quarter mile, and so I hit that, and I could hear the crowd in the music, and I started to like, and I'm like, oh my God, don't start bawling now, I'm gonna collapse. You're like 0.2 miles from the finish. How amazing, embarrassing that would be. So I was like, pull myself together, and finished. And yeah, it's an amazing feeling when for something that seems so impossible, which it sounds like all three of you think it is. To be able to do it, because I truly feel like anybody could actually complete one. You're not going to be able to come in first or 1,000th or whatever, but I think anybody, if you try, if you go out there and train and put your mind to it, you did a 5K, Ryan, if you could do a 5K, you could do a 10K. If you can do a 10K, you can do 13. you can just keep amping it up.
Baby steps.
Baby step.
I don't know, if I was running that long though, and I heard a gospel choir, I was like, I don't know. I think it'd be like, crap, I'm dying.
I've arrived.
Heaven's coming. I'm going right towards it. There's the light. It's all over.
Yes, heaven is
there.
Disney World.
Exit a peaceful one.
Sorry.
He's still back on that tweet.
No. I'm fine. So because when I did the race, it's the only thing I can compare it to because I've only done race one time, except if you count like elementary school where they force you to race or middle school. Because there's so many people that run this race.
Mm-hmm.
Does it? I mean, how crazy claustrophobic is it? Is it just like wall to wall people, or does it eventually spread out? Because I've seen pictures and it's like, how do people even run with that many people around them?
It does spread out. I mean, the thing is, this was one of the first times. Well, I've run the Disney World one by myself a few times, but for a while there, I was running with my brother, and my brother doesn't run quite as religiously as me. So when we would get our corral assignments, I'd be a little bit closer to the front, and he'd be a little bit further back, and I'd always go back to be with him because we wanted to like stand together. So it would take a little bit of time to kind of get through some of the slower people, because you got people that are doing the run walk method, which is totally cool. We got people that are going just really slow. So to try to get around those people, to try to kind of get up to where you're at a comfortable pace without feeling like you're stepping on people, it takes a couple miles for that to kind of get kind of spaced out. But then once it does, it's not too bad. I mean, this time since I was running by myself, my brother wasn't doing it, and I was a little bit closer to the front. Kind of right out of the gate, I was kind of with people that were kind of running at my pace, so it didn't feel like I had to run through a herd of cattle too much. So. Yeah, because it can. I mean, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, and unfortunately, I think there's a lot of people out there that don't quite train like they should before they sign up for one of these things. So, they're basically me 15 years ago going, "Oh, this will be easy. This will be fun. There's no hills in Florida. Did you train for this? Well, no. Okay, it's going to go great for you."
There's no hills, but there's tons of humidity.
There is, and there's actually a lot. There's tons of overpasses too, which are pretty decent hills when you're going up and kind of on a curve on this wacky overpass, and then back down the other side and whatnot. But yeah, you guys should think about it though. You guys could do it.
I'll think about it.
Because Chris, and I'm sure you've seen, there is the Castaway Cay.
I know there is. Yeah, on the Disney cruise on their private island, they got the Castaway Cay run.
There you go. You could die on a Disney island.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You feel a little bit less guilty when you're at the buffet later.
That would be the thing, though. I'd be eating all the food. They're like, I gotta go run now. Oh,
gosh.
They'd say go, and I would be like, where's the golf carts?
I bet the cleanup on that one's pretty bad. Everybody eating that food and then getting on the sandy beach and just vomiting everywhere.
Got a tray of shrimp at the end where you just a buffet of shrimp at the end of it.
Gross.
Shrimp and champagne. That's what they did.
Did you guys ever see that one Office where they were doing like a 5K or something to raise money for some charity, and Michael was eating chicken Alfredo while he was running?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, just a little tangent myself. I've been watching a show on Netflix called W1A. It's a BBC show. And it's a lot like The Office, and it takes place inside the BBC network, and it's almost like a corporate television office show, because it's got the guy from Downton Abbey, the head of the household guy, Hugh Bonneville, and all their titles are just like ridiculous. Like it's how you would think probably like some of these meetings would go with higher up people. Like one of them is called the like executive of better. Whatever that means. No one knows what it means, and like none of the meetings have anything to do with anything. It's just that great office British humor, IT crowd type stuff. I'd recommend it. You guys watch it.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's talk about some more of my Twitter responses. No, I was kidding.
So get this, guys.
I remember the days when there wasn't a thing called social media. People just like if they wanted to talk, they would just go to their neighbors and just talk about stuff. I saw a comedian. Then we're going to get on to really what you went to Florida for. I saw a comedian that was talking about when someone rang your doorbell 20 years ago versus when somebody rings your doorbell today. And basically, like 20 years ago, when somebody rang your doorbell, everybody would get up and like run to the door and like be like, "Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? Let's let them in. Come on in. We got have some cake. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's chat." And versus today, when you ring the doorbell, everybody turn the lights off. Get on the floor. There's a sword under the couch. Get the sword.
we got the Ring doorbell, so we just go on our phone and just turn the camera on to see who's out front, and just go, "We're not home."
We don't have any cake.
Oh, did we lose Katrin? Katrin got tired.
We did. He said, "Sorry, it's this winter storm."
So he's gone for good, or is he coming back?
I don't know. Let's see if we can get him back.
I think he's going to go for a run. I think he's inspired now.
There we go.
You want to try and call him back, Ryan?
Can I add him to this call? I don't know.
I don't know. Why not?
Let's see if it'll let me. So,
Please
hello. Yeah, please stand by.
Let's go out to the lobby.
Oh yeah, I think he's back.
There he is.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey,
Sorry.
technology.
Internet.
This is a fun episode. We've talked about running. I've been the crabby old man talking about social media. Katrin just disappears on us. Anyways, so let's get to the real reason you went to Disney World. We know that the marathon was just an excuse to go to Disney World.
Yes.
The real reason you went is that you experienced something that all of us on here would love to experience, but probably won't get to for a while. You experienced a new virtual reality experience at Disney Springs called the Void, right? Is it called the Void?
Yes, the company is called The Void.
The Void, okay.
Yeah. They have. You can go to their website. I think it's thevoid.com to find out more. Yeah, they. I think it's going to be a permanent structure. I think I thought they were only going to be there for a certain amount of time, but I think the Star Wars experience, which is called Secrets of the Empire, I think that is only going to be there until like mid-February, and then it's going to get rotated out for a different experience, which will be pretty cool. But
so we only have till February. I gotta go. I gotta leave, guys.
Yeah.
Go now. Go.
Quickly, run there.
Running.
Oh, you're hilarious.
So we are going to give lots of spoilers about this. So if you don't want to hear
Might as
about
well. It's going away in February.
it,
Yeah.
you can skip over. But,
Yeah, well, I'm imagining it'll come back. I mean, the thing that I was reading, because right now it's there's a void at Disney Springs. If you guys remember where the Once Upon a Toy shop is, the one that's got Buzz out front and whatnot. Basically, if you walk into the front of that shop, that is all that's left of that shop. The entire back 2/3 of that is now all the void.
Wow.
And if you were to walk past it, you would probably not even realize it because the signage for the void is very blended into the Disney Springs sort of architecture and whatnot. But there's also a void at Disneyland as well, at their downtown Disney, that is also doing the Secrets of the Empire. But what I heard is that this show is going to then, I think, go to a void that's in Vegas, and it might just kind of tour around. And then I guess in the meantime, they're going to swap it out for something else. I'm hoping for a Guardians of the Galaxy type thing or something else that's, Disney and a Disney IP. But yes, if you're ever in a place or space that has this thing, you have got to check it out. It is amazing. So should I tell you all about it?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me
Well,
get the
you go
popcorn. Hold on.
Okay. Ryan, put down your phone. Stop tweeting. So basically, it's a 4-person experience, and you each have like an armband that I guess the system kind of recognizes who you are. So you're all going to be stormtroopers basically, and you get all your gear. It's kind of like almost like a laser tag sort of armament that you kind of have on your body, and then you have the VR helmet that you have on your head, and the VR helmet can flip up so you can like look around like in real life and then pop it down. So you go into a briefing room, and Cassian from Rogue One comes up on the screen, and he's basically giving you a mission, and it looks like he's like behind enemy lines because the feed keeps cutting out and stuff like that, and basically the mission is having to infiltrate a Imperial stronghold because there's a box or a crate or something that the Empire has, and the Rebel Alliance wants to know what it is and why it's so important to the Empire. So Cassian can't make it. He can't get back in time to go on the mission. So he's sending us with his team to go on the mission. They've captured an Imperial shuttle. And you put down your visors, and you start looking at each other, and everybody looks like a stormtrooper. And one of the girls that was with us, it was me and my brother, and these other two girls. She was kind of tall, and so she's a tall stormtrooper, and it's like, and you can, as you're talking, you can talk and you can hear each other. And so we're all just like completely geeking out, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Door opens, and got to walk in to meet the crew, and you walk in, and now you're in the VR space, and K2 is standing there, and he's like, okay, hurry up, Cassian can't make it, and now we have to do the thing. So you walk in, and it looks like you're inside of an Imperial shuttle, and he tells you to sit down, and you look, and there's a bench there, and it looks like a Star Wars bench, and you put your hand down, and there's a bench there, and you just kind of you sit down, and you're looking at this view screen, and there's the pilot up there, and the pilot's got like a stormtrooper armor on, and you hit light speed, and then K2 is kind of narrating what's happening, and you end up on Mustafar, so you end up on the lava planet. And we go down to this landing pad or what have you, and he's like, "Oh, we must hurry, we gotta go do the thing." So the door opens, follow me, and it feels like it's like playing Battlefront, but you're actually in Battlefront. So you're looking around, you can look at your hands, you look at the different people, and like, oh my god, and we're all talking to each other like, oh my god, this is amazing. You walk into this next little area, and so now you're outside the ship, and there's lava, and you can see the little stronghold over across the lava, and this little landing skiff kind of comes up to where you're standing. And K2 is like, okay, quick, all of you, get on the skiff. We're like, okay. So we kind of like step forward onto this skiff, and like your brain is just kind of running with it. You get on the skiff, and the skiff starts moving over the lava, and we're all kind of like, there's nothing to hang on to. Oh my god, are we gonna fall off this thing? You feel heat, like you're actually going over lava, and the thing's vibrating. And I was in my head, I was slightly terrified, and I just had to keep mentally telling myself, this is just a movie. We're not really floating over top of lava right now. We get to the other side, and this plank comes out to meet us. And it's like the width of a diving board. And he's like, quickly, one at a time, go. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I was like literally afraid. And we're all like chatting as we're going across. And because it's just psyching you out that you're walking across.
The floor is lava.
I know. Later on, my brother was like, I wonder what would have happened if I had just like fallen off. Like, you would have been dead. We wouldn't have seen you. So you go into this next area, and at this point, we still don't have any guns or anything. I'm like, when are we going to get our guns? I want to shoot some things. So K2 is telling us, what you have to do. He's like giving us instructions, and we didn't understand for the longest time. And then he was finally like, okay, fine, I'll do it myself. And this lever goes down, and the door opens, and my brother reaches over, and he's like, there's really a lever here. He's like, I think we were supposed to pull this down. I was like, oh my God. I guess we're actually supposed to be doing stuff while we're in the thing. Maybe we should start listening to K2. So we go into another area, and there's stormtroopers just everywhere, stormtroopers. And so he's going, you guys might want to get over here really fast. And so another little doorway opens, and we walk in. And when we walk in, there's 4 blasters, boom, 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 just sitting there. And they look like stormtrooper guns. And we're completely ignoring K2. K2 is like, okay, well, you guys have to try to blend in, and, we got to get out of here. We got to get to where the crate is, you guys. And we all just grab the guns. And he's like, or you guys could do that. And we have the guns, and we turn back into the corridor, and the stormtroopers are everywhere. And we just start blasting them. We start blasting everything. And he's like, well, that's not very subtle. Now they know we're here, and we're just like shooting, and there's like lava and like platforms and so forth, and stormtroopers are coming out, and you can see the bolts coming out of the guns and hitting the guys and knocking them down. And if you get hit, you feel like a little zap, like in your suit. And so all 4 of us are just like blasting these stormtroopers. And all of a sudden, some stormtroopers come up off this upper section, and one of the girls is like, up top, and we're like, oh my god! And so we're like blasting up there. So this goes on for a while, and we pretty much take out all the stormtroopers. Then like this lava monster comes out of the lava, and we're blasting that, and we're blasting that. So then K2 manages to get a door open. We run into another area, and then we get into an elevator. And basically, we're in an elevator, and K2 is giving us instructions, and my brother's trying to put in the code, and it's like a Simon Says, where he's like, okay, he sends the code, and you got to put it in exactly the same. And my brother can't quite get it because some of the mapping wasn't quite exactly lining up. So he thought he was pushing a button, it was kind of off. Meanwhile, the stormtroopers are outside the elevator doors, and they're just like blasting the bejesus out of the elevator. So he kind of gives up. I start putting in the code. The 3 of them are blasting, and there's smoke, and there's blasting, and there's smoke, and I'm putting in the code, and the code's not working. And I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna die in here. And we keep putting in the code, and Katie's getting angry with us, and they keep shooting. Finally, we put the code in correctly after like about 100 tries. Go into another section, and so now we're in this area where we can see the crate. The crate is there, and our pilot has shown up. And so the pilot like goes over to the crate, and he's like, good work, we found the crate. I'm sending our coordinates to K2. He's gonna come pick us up. We got to get out of here. So he opens the crate, and he pulls out a blue lightsaber, and he's like, what does the Empire want with a blue lightsaber? And then all of a sudden, the lightsaber goes flying across the room and into this dark doorway. And then all of a sudden, a red lightsaber goes. Ooh. And Vader comes walking out of the doorway. So just like, kill him! Shooting. And Vader's deflecting every single bolt. I mean, it is like the end of Rogue One. And he starts walking towards us. And I'm thinking this is going to end like Rogue One. And so he keeps coming towards us, and he's saying stuff, and we can't hear him because we're all screaming, and we're shooting, and we're screaming, and we're shooting. And he's just like dodging and deflecting every single bolt. About the same time, stormtroopers come rushing out from the other side to like grab the pilot. So we all turn to them, and we're like shooting the stormtroopers. And I'm looking out of the side of my eye, and I see Vader still coming at us. So I'm like, maybe I can take Vader out. And I shoot like one shot, and he's like bump, and like just like deflects it. And I'm like, oh my god, he's like real. He's coming at us, and we're all like panicking because he's almost on top of us at this point. We're not sure how this is going to end. He turns to the pilot and like force grabs him and like kills the pilot, like runs him through with a lightsaber. And I don't know. They were talking, but we were all screaming and shooting. We didn't know what was going on. And so at the point where Vader's about ready to like just murder us, K2 busts into the cargo hold with the ship. Vader gets knocked off the skiff. Door opens, little tiny platform comes out, and he's like, "Come on, get in!" And we're like, "Oh!" Like hurrying into the shuttle. And so then we found out what the item was and whatnot, and there was like an R2 unit, like an Imperial R2 unit, in the elevator with us, projecting instructions or wherever. I think the extraction and whatnot. And I reached out to touch the R2 unit, and he was like there. You
wow.
could like touch him. He was there, and we were like, "Oh my God, the Arctic Unity!" And it was incredible. And when and I forgot earlier, when we would go from room to room, once we had the guns, we would be in like these little rooms and like waiting for instructions and stuff. We would just be shooting everything, and you could shoot ceiling, and it would like leave blaster marks. It was incredible, and we were just like choo 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 choo. I mean, it was like we were literally like 7 years old, just with these guns, like just shooting everything. So then we got to the end. We warp speed or hyperspace back to I think I'm not sure if we went to Yavin or where we went to, but K2 thanked us for our help and et cetera, et cetera. And then we exited and took off all the gear and could not stop talking about it for like the next 20 minutes. It was amazing. It was incredible.
Great.
I want to go there now.
Do you think you could have gotten the lightsaber? Like, could you have gone into that door and gotten it, or were you kind of...
So, and that thing that was so amazing about it is, I imagine if you were an employee watching this, it was probably like we're standing in like a little room, right? Because everything, all the the depth and whatnot, it's all in the visor. So, in the VR headset. So, I mean, you could have been standing in like a little 10 by 10 room the entire time, but they're making it feel like a huge Imperial hangar and whatnot. But yeah, at the point where we found the crate, our pilot guy, who I guess was trailing us, ended up like actually retrieving the item and doing all that. So we couldn't actually interact with that ourselves. But yeah, I mean, it was just. And then they told us before we went in, the guys were like, okay, before we suit you guys up, you might want to take your jackets and stuff off because you're going to get pretty hot. And just panic mode of like Vader and Stormtroopers and what, we were just like drenched. We were just like so sweaty. But
awesome.
You're like, I just ran a marathon. I'm good. I can handle this. And then Vader just takes you out.
Force choke dead.
So if you hadn't have picked up the guns, would it all have changed, or?
See, I don't know, and that's the thing. I mean, they told us before we went in, they were like, "Okay, make sure you have your volume in your headset cranked all the way up because you're going to be hearing things, and there might be some instructions and so forth." And we had it all like I had mine super loud, but we were all chatting while we were going through the experience, and I think it was so overwhelming and amazing, and it was just so much chaos that we weren't really listening to what we were supposed to do. We were just like trying to figure out like, oh my God, where are we? What do we do next? And whatnot. But yeah, so I don't know. If we hadn't picked up the guns, I don't know if the troopers would have just been like, hey, what are you doing over there? And would have started shooting at us and prompted us to pick up the guns or whatnot. And, I mean, some of the mapping, I mean, the technology is amazing. I mean, because I would look at my brother and he'd be like shooting, and it would look like a stormtrooper's over there shooting. If you started to do complex moves, like if you tried to like twirl the gun or like do something crazy with your arms, all of a sudden the stormtrooper arm would do like a 180 flip. It would gimbal, and whatnot. It would gimbal. But yeah, I mean, it's like $30 to per person to do it, and. Honestly, if I could do it again tomorrow, I would pay $30 because it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Awesome. The Void. Check it out. They're doing amazing stuff.
Yeah, I would probably be one of the people that wanted to try and jump into lava just to see what would happen. Just like walk off because we've done some VR stuff before work and everything, and you put it on and you're on like a ledge or something. I automatically want to just walk off the ledge and just look down and then walk back.
There's something wrong with your brain.
I don't know. Because, I mean, it almost seems like to me like you're on that platform, you're going over lava. I don't know if it's just a platform that's just shaking underneath you, so you're not really moving.
It probably is. Yeah. It probably is, yeah.
I mean, step off.
Yeah, I mean, if I could go in it again and again and again, I'd want to try to figure out the secrets. But I was at that point, I was just like so like into it. And if you look at like there's like a trailer for it and whatnot, and there's some concept art that you can see where there's like 4 stormtroopers with K2 and they're riding on the platform going over the lava. And afterwards, I was like, I wonder if K2 was on the platform behind us, but I was too afraid to look to turn around. I didn't want to. I was just trying to surf. I was just trying to keep my balance, don't fall off into the lava.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Which is that's kind of the the experience, just kind of tricking your brain into thinking that all this is really happening. And the thing too is that the amount of detail was incredible. I mean, at one point, when one of the doors open and you're kind of inside the Imperial installation, you can see like different floors. There's like different floors, and there was almost like these almost like probe droids. They look like probe droids. They were doing that Hannah kind of thing and floating around and carrying things and whatnot. And the amount of depth, it was literally, because I know, Ryan, you play Battlefront. I mean, it was literally like playing like one of the Death Star maps or something, and walking into like one of the big hangars, but literally being there and being able to like look around and shoot stuff, of course.
Wow.
which was crazy.
I did something like that a couple of years ago at Halloween Horror Nights. It wasn't that in depth, but it was like a VR thing. And you were like in this outside of this big mansion, and then all these like Death Eater looking guys were coming at you from all angles, and you had to like shoot them and stuff. And it's coming so. Virtual reality has just come so far, and I just I just want to do it. Star Wars, that'd be amazing to be at,
and supposedly there's a because like I said, I think there's different. If you go to the Void's webpage, you can see the different facilities that they have around the country. And I think it was funny when we were wearing the gear. My brother was like, hey, we look like Ghostbusters, and there's actually a Ghostbuster.
There is
Void experience. Yeah.
I've seen that's in New York, I think, right?
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah. Which that would be pretty awesome too.
When you said the lava monster, that's all I could think of. I was like, what if there was a Ghostbusters one? Well, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Don't cross the streams.
Don't cross.
I'm pulling up the Void to see if it has a list of all the places where you could go.
Don't pull up their Twitter page.
I don't see where. It tells what games they are. Locations.
Yeah, it's like Toronto and New York.
Nowhere near me. Hey. I'll hop on over to Dubai. Or,
there you go.
London.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm going to London later this year.
Well, pip pip cheerio. There you go.
Well, the next time you guys are down in Florida, you just have to see what's what they're doing. We got our tickets in advance, and I would recommend, if you're going to be going down there or whatever, jump on their website, see what they got going on, maybe a few weeks in advance. Because you can pick your times, so you can go ahead and select the time that you want to go, and you basically have like a reservation. So when you show up, it's basically scan your ticket and go right in. Because I was there the day before we actually did it, and there was a line, like a really long line, of people waiting to do it. So.
Cool. So that's going out in February. Then High School Musical VR experience, that'll be in there next.
What?
They're great.
I'm hoping there's a Frozen experience, and you can just like shoot ice and
just sing "Let It Go."
And I hope they play that song a lot.
So you mentioned Star Wars Battlefront because I know you play too. Have you played the campaign or the?
I haven't. My son started playing the campaign, and I was kind of like looking over his shoulder. I've mostly just been doing the multiplayer stuff.
Right.
Not really a lot of
the story is really. Really good. I've enjoyed it. I finished it, and I wish it had been a movie. Like it was just that character, and so you need to play the campaign. I think you'll like it. I liked it better.
Sweet.
I liked it better than The Last Jedi. But
don't tell your new friend Ryan.
I won't
that.
tell Ryan that, or as I like to call him, Rion.
Gone.
You guys aren't like calling him like RJ or anything like that. Guys aren't there yet.
Yeah, maybe give it a couple more tweets.
R squared together.
Yeah, that's us. We're filming a buddy comedy later.
R&R.
R&R. Looks like you could use a little R&R.
How did you know the title of the movie?
From the makers of Police Academy 6.
It's sort of like
And the producer of Blair Witch.
Yeah. You'll bleep your pants at this movie. That's what he put that in. It's sort of like a take on Weekend at Bernie's. It's me and Ryan Johnson, and then J.J. Abrams is sort of the Bernie character, and we're, carting him around. So it's sort of that. Weekend at Bernie's meets the movie that Daniel Radcliffe was in, where he played a dead guy that farted all the time. It's sort of those mixed together.
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man, yeah. Right. J.J. Abrams is the dead character. He's got a lot of gas, and we ride him around, and then have lightsaber battles with each other. It's going to be fun.
Sounds like a hit. It's the next trilogy.
Yeah.
It's the next Void experience.
Yeah.
It's like you're there.
I'm like here in the sky. It's so heavy.
It's like I can smell J.J. Abrams' farts.
Yeah.
I can feel the heat.
Feel the heat. Yeah, I wonder what they were using if they just had like heaters going, or when you felt the heat of the lava. Because
It was real lava, Ryan. It
Oh.
was
Just a bunch of college,
Okay, we were on Mustafar.
just a bunch of college interns just sitting around with
with
the
hair
heaters,
dryers or something.
hair dryers holding them up to you. I'm getting class credit for this.
Oh, it sounds so cool. So Disney's doing all these cool things, or bringing in all these cool things, but they are doing some stuff on the flip side that's making some people mad and confusing some people. This week they instead of announcing more things coming, they announced things that are probably most likely going away. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it, since we're all big Disney fans. First, it's been reported that Talking Mickey. Have you guys experienced Talking Mickey?
Yes.
I have not.
He's cool. He's really cool. But that Talking Mickey Mouse is going away in the park. So basically, Talking Mickey is a walk-around character that you can meet at his backstage.
Town Square.
Town Square is backstage dressing room. And he talks, he blinks, his mouth moves, he interacts with you. It's a really cool experience. We've done it a few times with our son. But they're saying that that's going away because of budget cuts or something like that. Which I'm pretty sure Disney can afford to keep a Talking Mickey around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a regular Mickey that comes in. Because they are putting a Mickey back. It's just not a...
Yeah, just not a talking, which is...
Yeah.
Which it's like 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back. Because it's like, we've shown you what we can do, but we're not going to do that anymore.
That won't be confusing for kids at all.
I know.
No.
Hi, Mickey. 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 Mickey.
What's happening?
Why won't Mickey talk?
hates me. And they brought there was some people that brought up a good point that have a kid with special needs, and that was sort of the highlight of his trip, and it calmed him down, and it caused him to do other things because he got to have this one-on-one interaction because he couldn't really handle the crowds. One-on-one interaction with Mickey, and with that going away, it's like, he's not going to have that anymore. And I don't know. I think all Disney's doing, I think they could keep a Talking Mickey. So
I read one thing on that said something about that, and I don't know, it kind of sounded kind of wishy-washy to me that, at other times, Mickey makes appearances and he's not talking. So it becomes confusing for the kids that, they met him earlier and he was talking, and now he's, I don't know. Of course, I'm not sure what they're talking about, because it seems like when they're in the shows now, they still do the talking.
Yeah.
Like the mouths are moving and the eyes are, I'm not talking about, I'm not sure if, when I saw Mickey in the bathroom, he wasn't talking to me. He was, he was just washing his hands and ignoring me.
Let him be in the bathroom. That's his time. That's Mickey's time.
That's Mickey's time.
It's Mickey's time.
They do this a lot, though. They bring out these things that are really cool and really cutting edge, and then they just disappear. Like they had a dinosaur that used to walk around Animal Kingdom.
Right.
And then that just disappeared. They have the Muppet Lab at Epcot. which disappeared for a while, but then they brought it back, but then it disappeared again. Which that was Beaker and Dr.
Bunsen Honeydew.
Bunsen Honeydew, yeah. And they were in this cart, and they would interact with people and talk. So it's like they bring out this cool stuff, and then they're like, never mind. And let's just go back to the guy that we know is a college student in a suit that can't talk.
What? There's somebody inside, Mickey?
What are you talking about?
Spoilers, Ryan.
Sorry.
Jeez, Ryan.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No.
But think about it, though. They will save money, though, because it's like 3 people to do that.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
there's got to be somebody watching to say, okay, we need to press this button now, and then there's another person that's the handler, right? And then there's a person in the costume, so it's 3 or 4 people that have to run that little show. So I can understand a little bit.
But have you guys done any of the meet and greets with like Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
Have you done any of the Star Wars
Yeah.
ones? Those are great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great because he's like talking to you and whatnot, and just being very abrasive and whatnot. Silence. Stand here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could.
Stormtroopers talk too, right?
Yeah, Stormtroopers talk. There's a lot of people that talk now, but not anymore. Not Mickey.
He's too good for talking.
Yeah, they could spend $1 billion on Fox, but they can't have Mickey talk anymore. That's the thing.
Well, and they can bring back Stitch, because you saw the Stitch ride is going away. Like they said, it's closed forever.
Yeah, it's
and then
closed
they came back and said, well, it's going to come back. So they're going to reopen it later again.
Alien Encounter?
Yeah. So it's not.
They've
really
been saying for years that it's going to go away, and then they finally said it's gone, and now they're like, well, yeah, we're crowded. We need some place to absorb people.
Yeah, and it's smart. I mean, that's smart, but it's still terrible.
In other words, they don't want to spend money to make something new for in there, so they're just going to reopen it back up, because Disney doesn't make any money at all.
No, it doesn't.
So it's the way it seems with all the
things
they've changed.
Star Wars Land is very expensive, guys. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Better be good.
It better. Oh, I would comment on it, but I don't want to, get mean tweets sent to me. So
In the hotel, right? If that thing actually happens,
I hope that happens. It looks so
man.
cool. It'll happen for like a first year, and then they'll be like, you know what? It's just going to be a normal hotel now.
It's just a normal. It's got some cool little features, but nobody's going to interact with you like this.
We're taking all this tech out of here.
They do that. They do that a lot at Disney. There was something that just opened. Was it at Disney that people were like going, "This is crazy how they're doing this," and then people were like, "We got to go do it now because we know in a few months it won't be like this anymore." I forget what it was. It's something that just opened at Disney.
Was it something in Pandora, maybe? Or?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It's okay.
Oh, it's okay. I'm forgetful. So Mickey's going away, and then another possibility of something going away, which I think is, I don't even want to know what happens if this goes away. There are talks about getting rid of the monorail because of the upkeep. I've been to Disney lots. I've been to Disney where it's been sort of busy, and I've been to Disney like on New Year's Eve where it's crazy busy. I cannot imagine what it would be like if they got rid of the monorails at Magic Kingdom, especially. The cluster of people trying to get in and out of there. I mean, a polite way to put it, but it's just it would be mass chaos, because right now it's mass chaos trying to get either the monorail or a boat or a bus. So if you got rid of the monorail, trying to cram everybody on those boats
and Skyliners
to get Skyliner to get back to the Ticket and Transportation Center. I mean, that just sounds like madness.
A nightmare.
Oh gosh.
Even Springfield has a monorail.
It is due for some, it hasn't been really, upkept very well over the years. It needs upkeep.
Well, there was a door open, Ryan.
Yeah, there's a door open.
While it was running. And people could have fallen out, Ryan.
Well, the thing I was reading about that, it sounded like they would almost like and this is all rumor, that they would keep the monorail system that's running at Magic Kingdom around that loop, but they would discontinue the line that's going to Epcot.
Yeah, that's what supposedly the first stage would be, and then they would see from there.
But the thing with that is, I mean, even if they were like, okay, well, this gondola system is working great, let's have one go from Epcot to the Magic Kingdom. Really, that's going to cost less than just buying new trains? I mean, are you going to just leave, 2 miles of cement track just hanging out there? I mean,
hey, they've left river country there since the early 90s.
But you can't see that. That's all overgrown. It'll take a long time for those trees to overgrow those tracks.
They're gonna paint it blue. It'll just blend in with the sky.
There we
go. You all know it's there.
They'll just have a monorail sitting on it, and just like, here's a monorail sitting on it. It doesn't move, but it just sits there.
It's a prop.
Yeah, it's a prop. I don't know. I don't get it. It's one of the it's one of those things that you go to Disney sometimes just to ride, because it's like, I don't have money to go to the parks. I'm just going to ride the monorail around, and it's fun. And I've been on some of them that have been a little sketchy. I haven't had a door open, but I've been on them where they break down and you're stuck on them for a while, or the air doesn't work, or stuff like that. But I don't know. You think they would want to keep their transportation, as much transportation going as possible.
Yeah.
Especially because the way the hub is there with the parking and everything. That's when I would go when I lived in Florida and we had passes. I love the Magic Kingdom, but it was always I was like, do I really want to battle all that to get into the Magic Kingdom? Do I really want to park in one place and then take a monorail or a boat over to the Magic Kingdom? And then I'd be like, nah, I'll go to Epcot where I can just walk straight in or something.
It is a effort and a commitment to go there because of all that, because of the process of how long it takes for you to get from your car to the front gate. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
That's your marathon right there. That is.
It could take, sometimes if it's busy, it could take like an hour just to get from one place to the other.
Yeah.
That's why I started just making food reservations at one of the resorts. Like, let's go eat lunch here, and then we could park at the resort and just ride the monorail over from there, and not have to worry about all this. Or the best is to go to the Contemporary, park there. Of course, you eat there, whatever. You park there, and then you can just walk straight into the Magic Kingdom, because there's a sidewalk that just walks straight into it. So that's the way to do it, right? There's your little secret, but don't tell anybody it's a secret. Shh.
The more you know.
But they're cracking down on that. It's like, if you don't have a food reservation or you're staying here, you can't park here. Used to, you could just park wherever you wanted to, and nobody asked. To me, I'm like, I paid Disney enough. Let me park closer to the Magic Kingdom. So those are the two things going away. I don't know what to think about the monorail. That's sort of crazy to me. What else is happening? Anything? I think all our shows are still on hiatus.
Well, they start back this week.
Oh.
Yeah, Supergirl started tonight, and then Flash and Black Lightning is tomorrow. It's the premiere of Black Lightning, which is supposedly good. Yeah. I don't know. I'll give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot. We'll see.
We'll see.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. That when you were talking about the VR stuff, it reminded me. Have you guys seen Black Mirror? On
I have
Netflix?
not. I heard that I need to watch it.
No.
Black Mirror. It's I think it's British, or started as a British show.
We watched something recently.
It's sort of like Twilight Zone, or they're each episode is self-contained.
Oh no, we watched some of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was one that I watched last night or 2 nights ago that reminded me of the VR thing. It's like a guy is in Europe and he runs out of money. He's traveling. He's American. He's traveling. So he signs up for this video game trial thing. And basically it's like that. He gets implanted with this thing and he goes into this VR world. And it doesn't end very well for him, as it did for you. But it was a good episode. But some of those episodes I've watched, I'm like, okay. That was weird.
I think that's what we watched, because there was like one that had the guy from Get Out in it.
Yes, and he's in some weird world where everybody has to ride bikes.
Yeah, everybody has to cycle for a living for some reason.
On a station,
Ray, you would love it.
On a stationary bike. Yeah.
And you build up points, and it's like a virtual system, or you have a virtual person. You buy like stuff for that character or whatever, so you don't really buy anything for yourself. And then there's all these ads playing all the time. You can skip them, but you have to pay to skip them. But they have like their own American Idol thing.
Yeah,
that's
the goal
good.
to be on American Idol.
It's good series.
Or whatever. Yeah. Did you watch the first episode about the British Prime Minister? The princess is captured or kidnapped, and he doesn't want money. The captor doesn't want money, but he wants the Prime Minister to go on live TV and have relations with the pig.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the first episode of the series, and like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, it's good, but at the same time, it's like
weird.
This really?
That's what Don was telling me today, because we were at lunch. He was talking about Black Mirror, and he was like, just FYI, the first episode is going to, you're gonna like be like, what in the world am I watching here? But he said, if you get past the first episode.
Yeah, after that one, I was like, I'm just going to read the descriptions of the episodes and then pick the ones that I liked, because they're self-contained, so you don't have to watch all of them. You could pick some. Like, I started one because it had Bryce Dallas Howard in it, and I was like, oh, Bryce Dallas Howard, this is going to be cool. Well, it was just boring, so I quit watching that one and then watched the virtual reality one, which was pretty good. So it's one of those shows that you can go on there and you can like pick ones that sort of interest you and just watch that one. I don't have to worry about watching pigs and weird stuff. So there's a lot of stuff coming out on Netflix that I'm interested in watching. A lot of weird movies that I found that I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting. I think I want to watch. There's one about a small town. It's called Pottersville, I think. A small town that's like dying, basically, small town. Yeah. And this guy dresses in a gorilla suit for some reason, and people think they spotted Bigfoot. So the town starts get all this recognition for Bigfoot being there. Sort of want to check that out. It looks pretty interesting. It's
the guy who played Zod in The Man of Steel.
Okay,
is the lead actor in that one. He's funny. He's a pretty funny guy. He always plays. A lot of times, plays just these weird characters. We watched. It was like, I think it's called The Night Before. Is Seth Rogen, the kid from Third Rock from the Sun? I can never remember his name. He was in the Dark Knight Rises, and Falcon from the Avengers movies. And it was like, every Christmas they do stuff, and he plays like a guy who sells them drugs, and he's just this weird off the wall character. It's so odd. He like plays like the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future all together. It's so weird.
I haven't been watching the time. We're at an hour 18.
Uh-oh.
What are we?
Scott.
We just kept talking.
Great.
Katrin, why didn't you stop us?
It's not my job.
Oh yeah, it's my job.
my since I had to restart Skype earlier, mine says 41 minutes, so I'm like, I have no idea.
Oh, well, then we got time then. So. I guess so. We should start wrapping up. We didn't get to talk about. There's a new fan-made Voldemort movie that's on YouTube that's actually worth a watch. So check that out. We'll talk about that sometime. But the last time we briefly talked about it, but we'll have to briefly talk about it this time and carry it on. There's a new movie coming out that was made inside Walt Disney World illegally about Walt Disney's frozen head walking around the park, which looks hilarious. I watched the trailer and it looks really funny, so I want to see that. Anyways, so Ray, thank you again, and you are welcome on anytime.
Thank you.
Just as long as Chris will let you on, you can come on.
Come on, Chris. We'll see.
Chris will get you one of those T-shirts when he buys him one, and so you guys can be twinsies at work.
Nice.
Where do you get the T-shirt at?
Shop.spreadshirt.com/IamGeek.
All right, give me like 50 minutes and I'll get that written down. Hold on. Long thing to type.
I think it does it like that until you reach a certain amount of sales, which we have not, and then it just sort of becomes imgeek.spreadshirt.com or something like that.
You can still get to it that way, but it's different.
It's different.
If you get the shop. Yeah, but you can type that in and it'll go there. But,
yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Who knows?
Google search Spreadshirt IamGeek.
Again, thank you, Ray, for being on. Thank you for
absolutely.
sharing about your crazy run that I will never do.
A crazy run on Mustafar.
Oh, and that one too. Thank you for sharing about that, for all the spoilers, because we'll probably never get to experience that if it's going away in February. So we're experiencing it through you, and I can close my eyes like I was there, and I'll just listen to this episode over and over again, pretending that I was there, shooting stormtroopers. Katrin got a PS4, so if you play PS4, let us know so we can make him get games and play with us.
Yeah. It was a gift.
He got one for free. He got a free PS4 from a big
Yeah.
I Am Geek fan who's like, I love your show. Here's a PS4.
He was. Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly how it happened.
So if you want to give us free PS4s or free games, just send them to... No.
This really long address.
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for this episode 39 of I'm Geek. And then next week we'll have episode 40, which I'm sure Katrin has big plans for that. Big party plans.
Yes.
For the 40th. Because it's weird because it's going to be our 40th episode and you and I are going to turn 40 during 2018.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a big number.
Big number.
Something. I don't know.
So keep liking, sharing, listening. Let us know what you think. Subscribing.
Insulting Ryan on Twitter.
Go on Twitter. My Twitter is at Finding Rest. Finding Rest. Just go on there and just make me feel like a horrible human being. And thank you for that. Don't need counseling just because I didn't like a movie. That's just weird. All right. See you next time on I Am Geek. Good night, everybody.